Somas, it's Liz. I'm back with my Monday update, and I'm going to demonstrate in a moment one of the movements that I'm going to be teaching you this week. And before I do that, I wanted just to remind you, I've got some lovely workshops coming up in May. On the 30th of May, I'm offering a beautiful Soma and sound workshop with my friend Caroline. I am going to be teaching somatic movement, and Caroline is going to be sharing a sound bath. So, oh my gosh, a really deeply relaxing and restorative evening. And then on the Saturday, the 31st, I'm teaching a workshop at Central Wellness, which is called Space to Breathe, Space to Be. And that's all about freeing the ribs and improving your ability to breathe. It helps to restore your posture, because often we are very pulled down through the ribs. But it also really enhances any breath work practice. So if you ever attempted breath work, or pranayama as it's known traditionally in yoga, and you always kind of feel like your breath feels a bit tethered, it could be because the ribs are being really held down because of the way that the muscles are attaching the ribs to the pelvis, and also the tension level between each rib. So a really lovely workshop, and both of those take place in Lincoln. And in June, I have a lovely evening, a blissful evening, on the 19th of June at Purusha Retreats, which is a combination, it's women's only retreat, it's a combination of somatic movement, chakra dancing, sound bath, meditation. And if you've never been to Purusha, it's the most beautiful venue, and we're going to be using all of their outside spaces if the weather holds out. But if not, they have beautiful indoor rooms as well. So in class this week, I am going to be teaching, the theme is twists to de-stress. And I'm going to demo now one of the twists I'm going to be teaching you. And it's a sideline twist. I love it. I call it my lazy twist. And I've got some support for my head. When I'm doing twists on the side, I don't want the support to be too high underneath my head. And I'm also keeping in front of me clear, and I'll show you why as we progress. Okay, so the first part of this sequence is to just start to free the shoulder blades. A lot of us have a lot of tension in between the shoulder blades. And this movement came from my yoga therapy training. And often when we have a lot of tension between the shoulder blades, what we want to do is stretch that area. And that's because the shoulder blades often have become stuck. And this little sequence, I'm drawing the shoulder blade towards the spine and away from the spine. And I'm not doing this. I'm not using the rib cage to do that. I'm just isolating the movement of the shoulder blade moving on the rib cage. So we'll do that a few times and then take the arm up. Exploring this movement as well, can we move the arm without moving the torso? And then from here, start to go into the twist, and I'm twisting from my ribs. I'm letting my head look up to the hand. I'm not forcing the movement, I'm staying within a range that feels comfortable. And I'm also not going into the twist doing this. I'm connecting the movement of my arm to my torso, to the centre of my body. So I'm going to find a range that feels good and pause there. And then I'm going to lift my feet. That starts to create a twist in the waist here. And then when I release that, it takes me just effortlessly a little bit further into the twist. And I'm going to lift my feet again. That actually brings my hands slightly back up to the ceiling. And then I'm going to lower my feet and go a little bit further into the twist, always staying within my comfort range. And then I'm going to let the rib cage rotate my arm back to the ceiling, and then bringing my arm down, sensing myself moving through space, sensing how I'm moving and the way that I'm moving. So in a moment, I'm going to go and do that on my other side to help me feel more balanced. But that's just one of the twists I'm going to be guiding you through this week. I really hope that you can join me, whether that's online or later on catching up with that in my library. And I have over 200 classes in my library now. So have a great week. I hope to see your Soma soon, and